Okay, in the second part of the video, we're going to look at how to control the telescope with the Stellarium package. And the first thing you need to do is to download the ASCOM drivers for your telescope. Those you may get from Meade telescopes, for example. I believe they're in the AutoStar suite. I downloaded mine separately from another site. And then the next package you want to download is the Stellarium Scope package, which is a free package, but is an excellent way to control your scope with Stellarium. So just search for Stellarium Scope and download it. We open up the package. When you install it, the first thing it asks you to do is to press the Update Stellarium Configuration button. That takes care of everything automatically. They advise you against doing it manually. I found the automatic works extremely well. The next thing you do is to select the mount for the telescope that you're using. In this case, it goes right to the ASCOM telescope chooser from our telescope drivers. We select Meade, Classic, and AutoStar 1. Now, the next thing we need to do is very important. If you're using a USB to serial converter, as we talked about in the first video, you will need to go into Properties, because most likely the COM port assigned will be COM4, and Stellarium Scope assumes COM1. So you need to go in here, select COM4 as your serial port, if that's what it is. So if you're having trouble connecting, just look at the different COM ports there. Then press an OK, and press an OK here. This is completely set up. Now we can go in here and we can set these buttons. They're usually checked for labeling where the telescope is, and then we leave these settings pretty much as they are. So Control I is the one that we use. Control 1 is the one that we use to slew the scope. We can sync it with Control 3, and we can cancel things with Control 5. So the first thing we're going to do is connect the scope, and you'll notice down here that the scope is now connected, and everything is set. It's listening right now for Stellarium on the other ports, and we're going to open up Stellarium, and we'll see that in a minute. I'll put it on a minimized screen here when we get it up. Okay, so we're going to go to a slightly minimized screen for Stellarium, and the thing we're going to do right now is to take the telescope and slew it to the moon. So we select the moon, and we simply press Control 1, and you can hear in the background the telescope is slewing to the moon, and there you see the scope. I was looking at the sun earlier, not a wise thing to do, but if I was using a filter it would be okay. And here's the scope moving to the moon, and as you'll see in a second, you'll hear the beep from the scope. And the scope has now moved itself to the moon, and we'll hear a beep here as it sinks, and there it is. So it's as simple as that in terms of controlling the telescope from Stellarium. A very easy setup, very simple. Took me all of 5 minutes there. Thanks. If you have any questions, leave some comments or send an email to the email address that is on the blog.